Now, before this, they had a special Night City Wired episode, which essentially just focused on the graphical comparisons between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X. It doesn't really change anything about our perception of the game. It really is just to ease the fact that it got delayed a fucking, fourth time now?
It will be our final episode of Night City Wire before the game launches on December 10th. So, let's get going.
Thanks, Wide-Eye Lady. I'm gonna hold on to your word there. Let's hope it is the final episode.
Where'd you even come from? How are we even talking? Gotta get out of here, understand? And I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
Oh no.
You weren't dreaming, V. Those were memories.
You two are connected in a way I can't make head or tail of. Who? Me and who, Vic? Silverhat.
Keanu Reeves plus tragic backstory equals perfection. Like, literally, that is the formula.
He died like forever ago.
You need to say there's an actual terrorist in my head. Right now.
He'd burn down half the city just to prove he was right. And burn the other half just for fun.
What do you want from me? Destroy Arasaka. I don't even know what that means.
Do whatever it takes to stop him, defeat him, gut him.
He already tried to take over your body.
Well,
You know, just for a little while.
yeah, yep, he did.
A bullet to the fucking brain.
Yeah, alright. Well, what if you choose, a corporal? Pretty sure there's a, conflict there.
You don't have much time left.
Revolution, viva revolution.
And you're a cunt. Maybe we'll fit together after all.
December 10th.
Let's go behind the scenes to see
true.
how Keanu Reeves brought Rockabye.
Man, he's so old in real life. I mean, he looks good for his age, but you can see the wrinkles. Like, it definitely differs from his character in Cyberpunk.
I've had the opportunity to do voiceover a few times. I'd worked on a cartoon. I had done some documentaries. I'd never done this much.
I better go watch those documentaries.
Speak out loud to talk to me.
And I've processed some shit. Changed my mind.
Don't want you dead anymore.
It's been fun, and that was kind of what I was interested in. You know, the different options that the game could play. You know, playing the same person, but with different versions of them.
Motion capture, baby.
The way he moves
So one
too.
of the first elements that I was
That motion
involved
capture
in
suit.
the capture, I did it with in the Matrix films. So to start,
Available now on
capture
HBO
for
Max.
Johnny, it was all very familiar to me. The only difference, I think, technologically was how close they were going to real-time review. But
Yeah.
creatively, it was very familiar in the sense of starting a library of gesture and
He's got that beer belly on too.
the animators to work with for the.
I hope he stays in his career, for longer than expected. But he's gotta quit at some point, right? He's gotta retire at some point. He's already pushing 50 plus.
He wants to change the world, you know. He has a cause that he wants to fight against the corpocracy.
Come on.
Prox.
Tell me you're not interested.
He's kind of looking for a different kind of freedom.
Corps have long controlled our lives, taken lots. And now they're after our
Nilfgaard ain't her first rodeo.
something bigger. At least I had a cause.
Who's that old guy in the mocap?
It's got a lot of freedom. There's so many different paths that you can play the game on. But it's not just quests of paths. It's like, who are you? How do you want to play the character?
If I
Yeah,
gotta
okay,
kill,
basically.
I'll kill. If I
What
need
we
your
already
body,
knew,
I'll
but
fucking
coming out of
take
Keanu Reeves' mouth.
In this world, there's so much detail. There's so many different things that you can go off into that are really interesting and fun. The there's a real drama to the game and emotional stakes to it. And then there's lighter sides to it. And of course the music.
He knows what's up, you know?
Technologically, how cutting edge.
He very much knows what this game represents and how important it is.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Intense.
There is nothing worse than an actor who doesn't know what he's working, who doesn't appreciate the medium he's currently working on. And Keanu Reeves perfectly, like, gets it. He knows.
To imagine what Johnny Silverhand is supposed to look like, what he's supposed to sound like, what he's supposed to act like. Everybody and their great-grandmother seemed to have an idea. And the process actually involved a lot of people. The game director, character artists, writers, marketing staff. I could go on. You know, we cast a pretty broad net initially. We considered actors. We considered...
I think they hit the nail pretty hard on the head.
You know, band frontmen to play the role. At one point, we even toyed with the idea...
Keanu Reeves perfectly fits the role. I'm glad they chose him.
Because even he said in the video, this was like nothing he'd ever done before.
A question
which is pretty huge. I mean, he worked on The Matrix, okay? That was pretty big, and it still is big. People are discussing it to this day. And for Keanu to say this is the biggest thing he's done, it's pretty huge.
And utterly focused. To that work,
I'm not saying this is better than The Matrix, or gonna be better than The Matrix, but...
An overwhelming charm.
Why it's important to have him played by like such a powerful personality.
Okay, how do I do this without spoiling too much for gamers? In the broadest sense, I'd say Johnny Silverhand is a co-protagonist of the game rather than a sidekick.
All right, okay.
I mean, there are buddy bits in the game, but
so Keanu Reeves, the game.
Agenda.
So basically, it's not just a fallback.
Both characters.
If you get your
characters' agendas become equally.
Get your other friend killed. It's not a fallback. So this is literally just another protagonist. Okay, I get it.
To anybody who's seen the applicable movies, Neo is Keanu. Keanu is Neo. John Wick is Keanu. Keanu is John Wick. John Constantine, Johnny Mnemonic, Jonathan Harker, Johnny Utah.
Johnny.
And to anyone who will play Cyberpunk 2077,
He plays a lot of characters with Johnny.
Will be Keanu.
Huh.
To my mind, at least, star power is a fact and an important factor for broad sections of the audience out there.
So, can you give us more information about the
Keanu Reeves or Johnny Joestar?
Because we saw you in the video, you know,
Steel Ball Run.
some of it, but
Make it happen.
I must have poked Johnny in the chest hundreds of times, and I must have yelled "fuck off" at Johnny 35 times. You know.
I wish I had that experience.
Well, I
wish I could poke and say "fuck off" to Keanu Reeves 35 times. That would be the dream life. Now, this is one of the most important aspects of a game, I think.
Score is the main vessel of emotions in both movies and video games, and Cyberpunk 2077 is no different.
It actually took us a long time to find the right color of the music.
Getting that sound together is almost
so many musical artists.
Look of the game itself, because the music is really helping you feel this emotion
coming together. It's really special. In this caliber, not even GTA, like, got to this sort of scale. Score.
So one of the main ideas was to take the cyberpunk genre out of the 80s and give it a 90s flair. We took elements from rave, IDM, industrial, and make them fit our narrative purposes.
Finally.
We've decided that close to the 100%.
Thank God we're finally getting out that fucking 80s horse.
That's why we tried to stick
going to the 90s bandwagon now.
Basically, my own personal aesthetic matching the aesthetic of the game. When I read the brief, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can be myself.
I love the fact that the music in this game is so varied. So we have some tracks that are super dirty, super heavy, and then we have some tracks that are very beautiful and ambient. I'm using all kinds of different effects. So it's been great to be able to experiment.
I'm looking forward for Tina's composition, because I think it's gonna be, again, this is special.
It's my first time actually doing any drum tracking for a video game. It's been really exciting. It's been a lot of fun.
Ilan Rubin.
It's all about making you feel like a perfect killing machine, because that's what you are basically.
Well, I can do that all day long. So you'll just have to tell me what you like, and what you don't like.
Cool. Okay. It's not going to sound like one thing, depending on what part of the city you're in.
We basically scored every quest pretty much with custom assets created specifically for that quest.
We ended up having over 7.5 hours of music in Cyberpunk.
7.5 hours.
I can seriously say that I've never worked with such a bunch of mad people in my life, and mad.
This is probably not counting all the radio stuff.
The gear that we use comes out of boutique shops, or they're vintage synthesizers like this Polyvox.
Sound effects in this game gonna be mad.
I really hope all this effort put into creating this score pays off with satisfying and enjoyable listening and gaming experience.
Alright, soundtrack time.
Hello, Night City. What's shaking, Night City? Good morning, Night City! Your man, Stan here. Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once
Yeah,
and
I
now
heard
stops
that.
you to ask if you got a smoke for her. And now, a shout out to all the lowlifes over at the Atlantis. Ladies and gents, here's that all-time classic in Night City.
Fuck yeah, run the jewels. Fuck
Soundtrack
yeah.
is one of the key elements we use to build believable world. We've invited artists from around the world, incredible talents, incredible musicians, to write and produce songs just for us for this project.
You know, the reason I wanted to be a part of Cyberpunk.
Grimes.
Well, basically, I know The Witcher is
Famous for, of course, Eric Andre Show. Eric Andre Show, Alumni, Grimes.
And what it would be like being a character in that game. The person that's a musician in this world and this time has grew up in that space.
This isn't just some fun shit. There's also an intellectual and spiritual history to this world that's been constructed for you, you know?
We want to provide you with the soundtrack to fucking shit up. Like, how can you not want to be a part of that?
You gotta love their energy.
In addition, if you're planning on live streaming Cyberpunk, or if you just want to make videos, we want to introduce you to a new mode that will allow you to disable certain copyrighted tracks.
Alright, okay, understandable. It's kinda shitty though. That Twitch, DMCA, all that thing. Goddamn Twitch, you just gotta fucking rub the ball.
Selected tracks which could cause some issues, replacing them with a different song, helping to avoid any problems.
What
If you're
different
going
song?
through live, when Cyberpunk launches, it will have VO in 10 different languages. So we're going to take a closer look at the Jolly
And
technology,
Malay isn't one of
which is
them.
in-
I am the CEO of Jolly Research in Toronto, Ontario. In this video,
Oh,
we're gonna show
shout out
you
to all
a little
you
bit about Jolly
juicers
software,
out there.
and Jolly in action within the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
Maintenant, tu vas répondre à mes questions honnêtement, sans détour.
Rayfield's mine.
Скажи заплатить 2 раза, заплатишь 2 раза.
Alright, okay.
Jolly is a suite of tools and a suite of
I
services.
mean, it's not accurate,
result in
like 100% accurate, but it's sufficient enough.
and highest quality
Doesn't look like Watch Dogs Legion style, which is just horrible.
Familiar?
It's automatically generated on a face based on audio
Oh my gosh.
dialogue, audio
White
speech
Dexter?
from a voice actor.
Slow, deep breath.
Crack a Dexter.
Just an incredible amount.
I did do a
of
drug-free run
performance in this game.
Cyberpunk. I did a drug-free run on Fallout New Vegas.
Procedural solution allows you to animate
using nothing but
over and
Sunset
over and over
Sarsaparillas
again
and
at tremendous
Nuka-Colas.
scale.
If you wanted your character to shout instead of mumble, instead of issuing a set of commands that redo the animation, instead you click an attribute going from, in this case, mumble to shout.
I have no idea what they just talked about.
If the faces match and match the performance, you don't notice because you're too busy paying attention to how awesome the game is, how much you care about these characters, what you're gonna do.
Kinda true.
And that's what we want. That to me is that's the sizzle.
Don't you know you owe the sheriff a word when you pay his town a visit? To tell him what's brought you here. Maybe even over a cup of coffee.
Fuck off. December 10th. Alright.
They got a lock on us. Engine's been hit.
Get us out of here.
I'm losing control.
Glorified TV ad, let's go!
At CD Projekt Red, we dedicate ourselves to telling immersive stories. Yet with every new project, we set out to make our games bigger, more complex, deeply engaging.
Come on, V. Let's get you home.
Cyberpunk 2077 marries exploration of a vast open world with kinetic combat, story-changing player choices, and robust character development. All to bring you into our
Oh my
vision
god.
of the
5
dark
hours
future.
spent on character creation alone.
You either burn alive,
Kinda looks like my friend.
or you never existed at all.
The year is 2077. An economic crisis culminating in nuclear conflict has left America in pieces.
America.
With most of the continent degenerating into lawless war zones, people from all over have converged on the already overcrowded Night City, one of the world's last great megalopolises.
One of the worlds, but not the. So like, there's more out there. Wonder if it's gonna be played into the DLC or something.
Offer the promise of a civilized future.
What? No, this isn't happening. Oh, but it is.
But in the city's streets, a merciless struggle for power rages. Gangs, corporate agents, hustlers, religious cultists, politicians, and all manner of criminals strive to outplay one another. Ordinary people get caught in the crossfire.
Looking for justice. In Night City, I seek revenge. Much more feasible here.
In this world, consumed by never-ending conflict, sometimes only an outsider will get the job done.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
And that's you, an urban mercenary, a cyber-enhanced gun for hire.
You seem to understand each other. Take this, too.
That's
As a
like
mercenary,
$2,
you swear
dog.
no allegiance. You've chosen the outlaw life and trust that your abilities will carry you up Night City's ruthless, underground.
So yeah, like
social
80% of this is just footage we've seen before. Nothing new.
To thrive as a merc, you need the right combination of gear, skills, and reputation.
Dex had a load to say about you. I hope he wasn't overselling.
With the money you earn, you can turn yourself into a living weapon, buying guns and enhancements in the hundreds. As you roam the city's streets, you gain the experience you need to upgrade abilities and acquire perks. Combine the right skills and gear to create a gunslinger with inhuman reflexes.
Yeah, okay. This is something
A
that we've
stealthy
seen.
netrunner with command of all surrounding tech.
Alright, okay, basically this gameplay trailer is literally just an abbreviation of all the Night City Wired episodes in like this one digestible short advertisement.
Being filthy rich.
When its sealed container is ruptured, the only way to prevent the biochip from failing is to slot it into your head.
So that's where we
Turns
get
out
Keanu.
It contains the digitized
Alright.
soul of Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah, okay.
A dead rocker boy with violence on his mind.
You mean to say there's an actual terrorist in my head right now?
He's out for revenge. Aims to bring down the megacorp that made the chip.
Do whatever it takes.
I have
to
different
stop him.
plans.
Defeat him. Gut him.
What is in your head can shift the balance of power in Night City. The high and mighty will do anything to lay their hands on it.
Told you I'd end you someday.
Someday. Okay, this is like the corporate path.
The choices you make
That
will
was the
shape your
corporate path.
story and determine how events unfold.
V, you gotta take him down. That's why we're here.
But not everything in Night City is a matter of life and death. Sometimes
Yeah, right,
it's
okay.
about style, choosing your look.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Your pastime, who's at your side. Choosing how you spend your dirty money.
Just wanna play some hoops.
Welcome to the next generation of open world adventure.
This is one of those defining games of the generation. In conclusion, that was a pretty solid episode. And for what it is, it's pretty good. The last episode to something that has been going on for months. And I just hope this game gets on our laps in time for the holiday. December 10th, guys. Let's hope it never gets delayed again.